Hi everyone, I'm Kowshigan. How's it going for you? I think it's going good. Okay, now let me come to the point. After a long term, I'm going to give a speech. I'll show my best. Let's involve it. If I ask, why is the long stick is added to the Volley Rocket? Many of us would say to keep it in a bottle to leave it at sky. But this is not actual reason. There is a lot of science behind the stick. By knowing this will help you to learn how does a real rocket works. Today I am going to explain about the rocket science. Don't scare, let's learn to be happy. What is a rocket? Initially, the word rocket can mean different things. Most of us think of a tall, thin, round vehicle. They think of a rocket that launches into space. That's wrong. Rocket can mean a vehicle that uses as engine. The word rocket means vehicle. There are two main types of rocket engine. Some rocket uses liquid as propellant and some of use solid as propellant. How does a rocket flies? All objects including rocket are governed by Newton's law of motion as well. Let us see how. Well, the first law describes an object does not act when no force is acting upon it. So, when the rocket is standing on a launching pad, before it's launched, it will stand still and until an external force is applied to it. Not only that, but once it is set into motion, it won't stop or change its direction unless or until an external force is applied. Now, Newton's second law of motion that tells us that the heavier an object is, the more force is required to set it into the motion. Just like that, if your rocket is small and weighing less, it needs small amount of thrust. If its a rocket is large in size and a large of mass, it needs large amount of thrust. Next, the most crucial part, the third law of motion. Each action has equal and opposite reaction. That says how fast the fuel burn and the hot gases comes out from the nozzle by equal and opposite forces makes the rocket moves force in forward direction. Let's come to the next topic, the rocket nozzle. All metal in the world has a melting point including the rocket nozzle. But why the nozzle does not melt? The metal used in it is graphite, titanium, stainless steel or steel, etc. But it do not melt because of a normal science which is used it in larger amount. Actually, a rocket needs 37 million horsepower, which is equal to start 4000 cars at a second to take off. It requires to burn 1500 kg of fuel at a second. The temperature of nozzle goes approximately 3200 degrees Celsius. In this temperature, any metal can melt, but why not the nozzle does? Because of regenerating cooling system. What? Regenerating cooling system? We haven't yet here. I will explain. Most of the rocket use liquid oxygen and liquid hydrogen as the fuel, which temperature is extremely cool, about minus 253 degrees Celsius. Before the fuel enter into the combustion chamber, the fuel which goes around the nozzle, which means the nozzle covered by a fuel tube, and then it enters into the combustion chamber. There are nearly 1090 tubes which fixed around the nozzle of the rocket. This technique is most crucial and this technique prevents the nozzle from melting. Now, how does a rocket go straight into the sky? In Diwali time, if we all leave the rocket into the sky, it does not go straight, but it bends and goes into our neighbor's house. The reason behind is center of mass and center of pressure. What is center of mass and center of pressure? The point where we balance the rocket is called center of mass. All mass of the rocket is acting on a particular point. When the rocket is rotate or tilt in the sky, it focuses the center of mass and then it tilt or rotate in the sky. but center of pressure is pretty different from center of mass. The air which flows over all the rocket that fills in a particular point. Simply, it is a point where the area of both the sides are equal, which means the air which flows equally at two sides. If the rocket needs to be stable, means go straight into the sky, the center of mass is ahead of center of pressure. To moving down the center of pressure in the real rockets, engineering add fin-like structures in the bottom of the rocket. Now let's come to the Volley Rocket. In the Volley Rocket, the sticks which is used in it is to down the center of pressure of the rocket. If you want to launch a rocket in a particular direction, you need to increase the length of the stick into the rocket, which downing the center of pressure and makes your rocket more stable, and you can launch it in straight into the sky. This is the way to being a rocket to stable. That's all. This is a simple science which we study difficulty. This is the rocket science and the topic is over. Thank you to all for your attentions and please be safe. And my intellectual appetite does not rest until it's dark. Thank you.